My recording. Okay, so guys, I must warn you all. There is a 10-second delay between what I do and the Twitch video, right? The reason this is done is to prevent cheating. So when a big streamer is recording, that 10 seconds means other people can't see his stream and then find him. Okay. So now what you're looking at right now is the lobby area. This is where every player loads in when they load in the map. Okay. So you can see right in front of you, that is the player with the most amount of money. Since I'm the only player on this server, that's me. Okay. I'll now walk you all through the layout of the lobby very quickly. There is a leaderboard over here that you can see the yellow leaderboard. This is the number of times people have reset their game. Okay. As you can see, the number one guy has like crazy amount of play. There is a green claim button. You will see 8 of these marked around the map. Okay. This green claim button, what it does is it allows the player to claim one spot for them to start building. So 8 players can play at any point in time. Yeah. Then there are various other things strewn around the map. Largely, hey, favorite the map. Here's a leaderboard of the person with the most money. And here's a how to play. Right. So these are all very basic elements. I'll give you a bird's eye view of the map as well. So that's the lobby area that I'm flying above. Okay, it's a circular lobby area, right? So now I'm going to go and claim one building. It's already a complete building, but new players, what they'll see is they'll see a flat empty area. Okay. So now I'm going to run over and claim it. And once I do, my building appears, which you'll see in a few seconds on your Twitch stream. And the building has 8 floors, plus a roof. Now I'm going to run into the building. As you can see from the video, things are still loading in. This is one of the main things you want to ensure, that our map loads faster, right? Because you can see that things are loading in. Dheeraj, you will notice there's a pop-up that says daily reward available that appears at the bottom of the screen. So this is a good pop-up we should include. Here is the day.
Just one point to add for both in the other team. This is a completely unlocked map. The base map is supposed to be very basic. Angelo is unlocked and spend, I don't know.
I'll share a separate video of an empty map, Dheeraj. Okay. Here is the daily spin, as you can see. It's a standard spin wheel. You get a certain number of spins per day. And right next to it that's a pet, which you can unlock. And right next to that is the daily rewards, which is a simple gift box that you can open on a daily basis, right? So I'm going to interact with the gift box, and here are the items that I can expect. The UI is a bit odd, but ultimately I've got 2 spins, which you can see right at the top. Okay, you'll see it appear next to 61 there. I've got 2 spins. Then over here is the Star Pass, which again is a very simple board with items that fill in as soon as you claim them. So it's nothing major. This is a UI element that we will create ourselves. Okay. Speaking of the UI, if you can see right at the top, there's a number 62. Those are the stars that I have earned. Every time I fill in that yellow bar, I get 1 more star. Then in the green, you can see the amount of cash I have, which is 4.6 trillion. And in the blue is the amount of cash I'm earning per second, which is 10 billion. Okay. Now this pile of presents next to the Star Pass is how you get items to fill in the Star Pass. Each one has a certain value. As you can see, there are like 31 stars. and I have 62 stars. Okay. Here is the decor item, Dheeraj, the Trillionaire Lounge. Okay. This is the Trillionaire Lounge. You start out with a very basic, dirty looking waiting area, and it keeps getting better and better. This is simply a decoration item. You don't really interact with it. Okay. Then here at the door is the security toggle. The toggle switch. As you can see that there's a slight delay, so I'm just waiting for the Twitch to catch up. And you can toggle the security. You can walk through these red bars, but other enemies cannot. Okay. And then we've got the ATM machine. As you can see, it's really simple. It shows the amount of cash that I currently can claim, right? So it's going up by 10 billion a second. If I walk over the pad, then my cash goes up. There's a simple boom box for turning the music on and off. So I'll just, in the Twitch video, I'm claiming the cash. Then there's the music video, the music to turn on and off. And then here is the elevator. As you can see, it's a simple green square, right, that you interact with. Now I'll show you all the animations of the droppers. As you can see, the dropper has two parts. There is the conveyor belt, and there is the item that is actually dropping things onto the conveyor belt, and they all slide to the end and enter this yellow square where they disappear. Okay, that's the dropper that is taking up one full side of this floor. And then there's another dropper over here taking up another full side of this floor. Okay. These over here on the pedestals are cosmetic items, which you'll see in a few seconds. Yeah, these are cosmetic items. To wear them, all I have to do is walk over the green square in front of them. So I'll just walk over here and I have the shoes. And if I walk over this one, I have the top hat. Once again, I'm commenting on the video that I'm recording. There's a slight delay in Twitch. And then there's a no button over here, which is fairly universal. I can walk over that no button to take off everything. Yeah. So largely these are the elements on the ground floor. And here is the hitbox, which is on an item. As you can see, it's on a small item that's a small base. In this case, their base, they've got it animated. And I can shoot the dropper to get money. As you can see, there is a bar on top of the dropper and a number. That number shows how much cash I will get for each time I hit the box. You see, I keep getting 108. But when I fill in that bar, then that goes up, 109, right? So if I stand here and keep shooting, every time I fill in the bar, the amount of cash I get per shot goes up. Any questions so far?
No, it's fine.
Okay, so now I'll take you all to the floor above. As you can see, there are stairs that lead there, but I will use the lift. So the lift is fairly simple. It's just a block and you can either jump or crouch. Currently, I'm on the lowest floor, so I cannot crouch. When I jump, I am immediately taken to the floor above, right? And once you see that on Twitch, you'll see that there's a jump and crouch button. If I crouch, I go back down to the lower floor, right? So it's a very simple toggle button, which allows me to go through all the floors very, very quickly. Okay, so now I'm on the second floor, and you'll see the first different kind of dropper over here. There is no real animation of cash happening here, right? This dropper has two elements. There is the desk and there is the server next to the desk, right? Two elements are there on the dropper, plus obviously the thing below it. Okay, so this is copied several times, as you can see. Then in the corner over here, this is not an element you need to create, but again, it's just a pedestal with weapons. These are all Fortnite weapons. Okay, and then here in the corner of the room, we've got the same kind of dropper that you saw on the ground floor. So far there have been 3 different copies of this dropper. Okay. Hello. So can you see the droppers, guys?
Yeah.
Okay. So over here in the corner, there is another like art piece. Again, this is just a decoration, nothing major. And over here, there's a different kind of dropper, which has 2 pieces, as you can see. There is the actual dropper that drops cash, and there is the thing that you have to buy that in which the cash drops in. Okay. So that's this floor. There are 2 other elements besides the car that you can see over there, which again is not something you guys need to create. There is a mini game over there. I'm just going to wait for the Twitch to catch up. And then there is the dance floor. Again, these are not elements you guys need to create, but I'm just showing you all how the layout of the floor is. This is something that we would like your guys' input on, right? I'm looking at these cash bags right now, and they're fairly simple. They're literally floating bags of cash. You walk through them, you get some money, and then after a few seconds, they pop back again, right? So this is again an unlimited source of money, but it's a small amount. So I can walk through them and get a couple of billion, and then after a few seconds, they'll pop back in again. We obviously don't want to do cash bags. We want to do something that is YouTube specific, right? So what could this item be? I would love to get some thoughts from you guys. Okay. And that's it for this floor. Do you all have any questions, or can I take you all to the 3rd floor?
Yeah, it's clear.
Okay, wonderful. So I'm going to run up to the 3rd floor now. And now we will see the 3rd kind of dropper. The first was the normal dropper, which actually works like a proper, almost like a printing press. The second was the computer with the server. And this, again, you'll see 3 elements. There's the base, there is the vault, and there's a cash bag next to the vault. Okay. This cash bag you cannot pick up. It is a element of the dropper. As you can see, I'm going to walk into to try to pick it up, but I cannot. Again, as I mentioned, most of these droppers have 3 elements, which is the base that runs across the entire length of the floor, the main item, and then a secondary item, which in this case is the vault and the cash bag. Okay. Then I'm going to run to this dropper. We've already seen this before. This is a dropper that only has 2 elements. The first element is the round thing in which cash falls. And then the second element is the item that will actually drop cash into that area. And we've got another hitbox here. This hitbox starts from a much higher amount, and it increases by a much higher amount when you shoot it. As you can see earlier on, the lower one was only at 110 per minute per hit. This is 1.1 million per hit. Okay. And there's another mini game over here, which again, you guys don't have to worry about. And there's the standard dropper that you guys have already seen on the ground floor, right? This is slightly different from that one. That one, if you remember, had like a box almost. To refresh your memory, I'll just go down. You can see this one has like a box over here, and then almost like, I don't know what you would call this, like a ledge. Yeah. While that one is a straightforward 1 item. Oh shit, I started the minigame by mistake. My apologies. Right. So let's go back to the third floor. So as you can see, this is box and ledge over the again box and ledge over the conveyor belt, and this is simply like a U-shaped thing that drops cash. Right. So it's a slightly different version of the dropper. And over here again, you've got cosmetics that you can wear, like I can put on these shoes. And you've got weapons that you can claim. Okay, so that's this floor, very straightforward. Let's go to floor 4. Here, as you can see, it's a very yellow themed floor. There's a yellow car. This one is a dropper that is dropping gold, right? This is a yellow version of the dropper we've already seen on the floor below. That one, see, that's green and it drops cash. This one is yellow and it drops gold. So they've tried to mix and match their 3D assets, and you can see that there as well. And here is another decoration item with a pet that you can save. Yes, Dheeraj, what's the question?
Yeah, I just wanted to ask because we are actually out of time right now.
No, we've got
Because,
15 minutes.
My calendar shows that the call is 11:30. Okay, well, push it to 11:45 then. Okay, continue.
Yeah, we've got another 15 minutes for the next call. Okay.
Move it.
Yeah.
Farzan,
So
Rajkumar, Bhautik, talking to you guys, right?
yeah. So once again, you'll see they have reused the 3D assets very well in this one, where instead of it being in a line from left to right, they have broken it up into, here's a small conveyor belt, but this element on top is the same, as you can see, right? It's that box with the ledge, and each one has an area where the gold goes. So they've been again very smart in reusing their 3D assets. This obviously decreases your memory limit as well. This is another mini game which I will not play, and over here are again weapons that you can pick up. Okay, so now I'll head to the next floor. I believe the next floor is 5, and here they've gone again with a blue theme. So they are trying to use primary colors. And once again, you'll see our old friend, the dropper box with the ledge. But to make it stand out here, the ledge, now they've put a U-shaped on the ledge instead of it being flat. And this drops diamonds, right? So very clever reuse of 3D assets. Over here is that Minecraft game, which we've already seen a concept for. The idea here is each time you shoot the box, it shrinks a little. And when it shrinks completely, you get one of those 3 items that is on the signboard there, right? So you can shoot them all. And then they respawn very quickly. Then over here is a new kind of dropper. Again, it's got 2 parts. There is this part over here, and there is the actual slide, which drops diamonds. You've got cosmetics on this wall. And now you've got a different color of the same cash bag I was talking about. As I mentioned before, we'd love to get your thoughts on what this could be for YouTube Tycoon. The functionality is very simple. You run over the cash bags, you get some money, and then they respawn after a minute or so. Okay? That's it for this floor. As you can see, every floor has that ATM thing where you can claim your money anytime you choose. I'm going to go to the next floor, which I think is the 6th floor. Here is a new type of dropper, right? They've played around with 2 kinds of assets. They've got, if you remember, one of the droppers was a vault next to a cash bag. Now they've got a guy sitting at a desk, next to a cash bag, right? Once again, each of these increases your cash per second, which you can see marked in the blue box. Currently, it's 10 billion per second because I've pretty much maxed out everything. Okay. Then over here, you've got your weapons that you can select. You've got, opposite the weapons, you've got your cosmetics. You've got another mini game here that's playable. And then you've got again a new kind of dropper, where here what they've done is, again, they've reused the main asset of the that box. They've put cash bags on top of it, and they've put two conveyor belts rather than one. Okay. So that's this floor. And there's the mystery box over here. Yes, which you can walk through and you get like a mystery item. Then here we go to the next floor. Again, as you can see, they are reusing a lot of assets, recoloring it in different ways. And they've got now in this room, what they've done is they've done something slightly different. If you can see, these droppers all have got a line. And the final upgrade on this room is that big server in the corner here, which increases the income from each of these droppers. Okay, but otherwise fairly straightforward, nothing new on this floor. Here they've started to make the droppers slightly different on this next floor, where they've got a house that you can buy. The idea almost is you've got these mini houses that are earning you rent, and they've got these buildings that you can create with helicopters on top, right? Now, this again is kind of like what you would do if you were a really rich person. You'd buy businesses that you can rent out. You'd buy buildings that you can rent out to businesses, as well as houses that you can rent out to people. So it kind of fits the cash tycoon theme, right? So we'd like something like this. Again, ideas from you guys, what we can do with YouTube. We are also thinking of them, ideas. Otherwise, nothing really major new on this floor. And now we are on the roof. Okay, so that's pretty much the entire level. On the roof, you've got weapons that you can unlock, and you've got the ability to reset your game. When you do this, essentially your entire base goes back to 0, right? And you get +1 of that item that you can see. As you can remember, if you may remember on the leaderboard we saw, there's a guy who's done this 2,500 times, which is crazy. Okay, so from here, I will just very quickly show you all the different floors by crouching. This is floor 8. Then 7. Then 6. Then 5. 4. Oh, I must have clicked too many times. I've actually gone all the way down to the bottom. Okay, to the ground floor. Second floor, third floor, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh, eighth, and roof. And then one last thing before we wrap up. I'll show you all the entire map. So it's fairly simple. There's a circle of a circular road on which traffic keeps flying. There are hills just for, to set the atmosphere, and then ultimately water around. Okay, and that's my building. If there are other players, you would see 8 buildings in this circular area. So that is the entire map. Do you guys have any questions before I wrap up?
No, it's fine.
Okay, then I'm going to stop the recording.